Hey everyone, Leon here, back again, Hitman Blood Money. We've got a house of cards this time, so we're in Vegas taking out 3 targets. It's a favourite of mine, used to go back, replay it quite a bit. There's quite a number of ways that you can go about taking out the targets. So it's good for that, but today we're just going to go for a tried, tested, straightforward method to get that silent assassin. And alongside that, maybe talk a bit about nostalgia, which is something I mentioned, I think, in the first episode of this, or at least in the earlier episodes of this series. And just, you know, why I think it's good and also maybe it's a little bit bad. So yeah, with that in mind, let's get on to some gameplay.
This is where his story ends.
Whose story?
Oh, there he is, the man with the hair.
I've been looking forward to this for a long, long time.
It's not his funeral.
It is.
But you didn't get him in Mississippi.
No. We got close, but he slipped away. He knew we were on him, now. He was running scared.
Where'd he go?
Where does anyone go for a last desperate roll of the dice?
Nice to be back in civilization, 47.
It suited me. I had some business to attend to.
Those missions out in the sticks may have bought us some time, but things are still deteriorating rapidly. We're still losing agents. You got the briefing?
Yesterday. Got the pictures right here. Mohammed bin Faisal al-Khalifa, his scientist Tariq Abdul Latif, and Henrik Schmutz of South Africa. Interesting trio.
The DNA angle's disturbing. This may tie into the group that's trying to liquidate us. Welcome to Las Vegas, 47.
Right then, so I think for this we'll just take...
There's a white supremacist from South Africa. His name is Henrik Schmutz, who's trying to sell some DNA material and lab
sniper
reports to
rifle.
the wealthy Saudi sheikh, Mohammed bin Faisal
we'll use that for the
al-Khalifa.
3rd target. First 2,
Sheikh is working for someone else.
we're going to strangle them. We're at the Shamal Hotel. Nice fireworks. Wonder what they're celebrating. Big jackpot win, maybe? And just ignore her, she welcomes you in. You can get a key card from over there, but we're not going to, because we'll get key cards from the first 2 targets that we take out. In fact, actually, I think the first target that we take out really gives us the only key card that we need. But you do need key cards to get through the different levels. So, because every time an elevator opens, there's a security guard there, and he gets a bit angry. So we'll wait for this door to close and we'll climb the hatch while we wait for the first target to arrive, and then pop into the elevator, which is where we will take him out. We'll strangle him with the fiber wire, and then while we wait for him to arrive, well, he's arrived, but we'll start on a little bit of mental health chat. And this week, as I said, was nostalgia, really, and its benefits and actually the negatives to it. And so first off, I mean, the benefits, this is what, like, nostalgia is really what led me to creating this channel and this series regarding Hitman. You know, I play the Hitman trilogy, the new trilogy, a lot, and thoroughly enjoyed it. And at some point, you'll probably see that on this channel, in some capacity. I'll wait for him to come. We'll know when he gets here, because we'll move that fiber wire behind. But yeah, like, I'd seen the in Steam, it was on sale. I thought, you know, like, the seeing it on sale brought back this feeling of nostalgia, and it took me back to all the times that I played this through all the different platforms, PS2, Xbox 360, played it on the Xbox One as well, and I always just enjoyed it. So I thought, you know, I'm going to get it and I'm going to play it, because I've never played it on PC. And we'll just wait for the lift to go up, or elevator. We'll strangle him.
Yoink.
He'll drop, I think, the briefcase, which is fine where it is. We'll pop our, get this key card. We'll just wait for the doors to shut, because if there's a security guard there and he sees us pop down, he might not be too happy. We'll get the payment briefcase, and then what we'll do is we'll take that to the exit and we'll leave it there so it sets up finishing the mission off. So yeah, so it's like I had that, brought back all the memories, all the missions, and you know, the many ways of being able to, you know, to complete it and to go through it. And thought, you know, I'd love to go back and do that again. And you know, I use it as a good excuse to start this, and this channel's been a great experience for me so far. And thank you to everyone that's watched, subscribed, and you know, just been involved in this whole process for me. So you know, like that period of that nostalgia had a positive impact on me. And you know, for me, a lot of the time I always see nostalgia as being a positive thing. I always just assumed that, you know, when you had a positive recollection of a memory or experience, that was just nostalgia in itself, and it wasn't, you know, it was only for exclusively, it was for positive, as a positive experience. But actually, that's not the case. You can actually experience what's known as nostalgic depression, or nostalgia depression, and that is that, you know, you are constantly having these feelings of nostalgia, that, just pop that down and set ourselves into place. Just see where he's at. He's not coming through yet. So you just keep on having these, you know, like these memories that come back, that are brought on by, you know, some sort of experience, you know, present experience that brings back a previous experience, and then that makes you feel, I don't know, like cringy in some way, like guilt or shame, you know, can make you feel hopeless or just something negative, really. And I'd always categorized that as something else and never seen it as being nostalgia. And so it was quite a surprise for me. But actually, really, when you think of it, it is the same experience. It's just the outcome is different. You know, it's, and maybe because of, right, so this guy's just come in. So we'll just wait for the lift to move, and then we'll take him out. I'd always just seen it as just being,
Yoink.
so like because of that, and I always seen it that way, that maybe has aided me in some way in dealing with that feeling. You know, it's like I'd had that way of separating it. It allowed me to appreciate the positive ones more than the negative ones. Put that back. We need to get the rifle case. I'm assuming that will be shut. Yep. Then we need to go to the 8th floor so we can take out the final target. Alright. I will do. I'm on the right floor here, aren't I? Yeah. See, because I'd always seen nostalgia as being a way of, a sort of, as a cue really, to maybe to act on something. Like in this instance, this was, I saw it as a sign to, one, play this game, two, then to make some videos about it and then start a YouTube channel. And it's been a great experience so far. But also in other ways, it could be, it reminds you of a time where you think, I'll get in contact with somebody, or maybe he's go back to an old hobby, whatever. But it's always been like a trigger, really. And I guess unfortunately for a lot of people, you know, they can also be triggers for negative aspects as well. And I have experienced those also. I just didn't categorize them as nostalgia. So just to move this gameplay on, what we're going to do is we're going to go into a room 803, but we need to get those guards moving. So to do that, we are going to activate this fire alarm, which will shift everyone down to where the lift is. It frees up the room for a bit. So we've got the key card, we can get in. So what I also like to do, I don't know if this actually makes any difference, but as I just like to turn the lights off. I'm not 100% certain what it does, but it's just, I've always done it, so I'll keep on doing it. And if it does or it doesn't, who knows, but you know, as long as we get Silent Assassin, that's all that matters. So we get the rifle out in preparation, just so that we can make use of this time. And then we'll just go and wait in here, because we're going to get, when the guard comes through, out of the three, only one comes back into the room. Oh, because he was the only one that was in the room. And we're going to sedate him, take his suit, and then we'll take out the last target. So yeah, it's... I'm trying to think where I was. But yeah, I've always looked at it as just being as a positive, in a way, as a catalyst to act on something that therefore is positive moving forward. Whenever anything negative has entered my mind, I've got coping mechanisms in place and ways that I treat those in order to be able to, well, to mitigate them so that they don't have an everlasting sort of impact. It's not to say that I don't have those thoughts, because I think it's perfectly natural and normal to do so. It's just how you respond to them, which, you know, dictates how you move forward. And, you know, if you struggle to deal with those, then the only thing I can really suggest is either that you talk to somebody about them, especially if they're recurring sort of, thoughts that you have, you know, that it's worthwhile. I'll open this door, and then as soon as that goes red...
Shh. We've been trying to contact you regarding your car's extended warranty.
Take him out. Yeah, because, you know, either confide in someone that you know that you can talk to them about it. Just stick this body in the bathroom. Just don't think anyone comes in, but peace of mind in it. You know, to confide in someone. If you don't feel comfortable in doing that, then, you know, with someone that's close to you, or a friend, relative, whatever, then, you know, maybe speak to a GP, inquire about services, you know, whether it's like talking therapies, etc. Because you don't want to, well, redial the shake. He's gonna come out of this room, and what we need to do is be on this balcony. But you see there's that guy over there, so we need to be just over in this corner. Just means that he's not going to see us take the shot when he comes out. We'll just have this weird in. But yeah, you don't want to be allowing this to have a big impact, you know, on your day-to-day, because it can have such a, you know, it's a mental health problem essentially. So, and you know, that can have lots of, as we know, a big impact on how you live your life, and the knock-on effect, you know, can just impact you in so many ways. Your motivation, you know, the feelings about yourself, and everything. Well, all aspects of, you know, like all the negative aspects can just come from these thoughts. Right, so we're just gonna shoot him in the head and take him out. Shut those doors, and we'll pop that in. So pack the sniper away. Right, so we need to retrace our steps and get our suit back. I'm trying to remember which one we left it in. Can't remember if it was in this one or not. And then he pegs it down. We'll climb up to find out that it's not that one. So, drop down. So definitely, if this is something that is frequently happening and having an impact on your mental health, then, you know, you need to really get, you know, I would suggest on getting in contact with someone and just talking through it, because a lot of the time, you know, a lot of those feelings that you're having from previous memories, I mean, it's the past, and it's just a feeling, and it shouldn't be something that has a big impact on your life, which I know is easier said than done, because we've all been there, and something's brought you down, could have done something differently, wish you hadn't done that in that situation, etc, etc. You know, and it happens to the best of us, but the only way to recover and to deal with those emotions is, you know, talking through them and understanding, you know, like how they work and what impact they really have on you. So, right, we're at the exit. We've got all 3 targets done. What we'll do is we're going to get this rifle out so we can carry it out, so we don't have to pay for it to be retrieved. It doesn't really have an impact on your score, but it's more of just a nice thing to do. And then we'll get the briefcase. And then we'll exit. And we'll see if we've got that silent assassin. So we've got a total of 3 kills, 1 shot fired, 1 shot hit, 2 close combat kills, got 1 headshot, so no bodies found, no covers blown, no witnesses, weren't caught on camera. I think we know what that means. I think we're gonna silent assassinate. Yes, we are. A little bit of a silent assassin dance as always. And let's get back to that, see what's in that newspaper. So as always, the silent assassin that is wanted by the police. Blood Money is involved. We've got Lady Luck here, gets a new twang. The Bayo Beauty spreads the chips. Sounds a bit saucy, that. Sheriff calls off hunt for escapees. City reacts to an elevated threat. So we've got Heaven or Hell here. So this is kind of like a hint, a little bit of a nod to what we've got coming up next. So that'll be for this one here. Lion mutilates 42 midgets in a Cambodian ring fight. Spectators cheered as the entire Cambodian midget fighting league squared off against an African lion late last week. Sold out. So they thought that they would take them all out, but didn't happen. Lion, damn. I mean, that's like the type of video that you get sent in a WhatsApp group chat and it off your mate who's just a bit edgy. Goes on 4chan quite a bit. I wonder if in 2006 it was actually, I can't remember, but I just have a feeling that it wasn't acceptable to call little people midgets. Yeah. Interesting. Right then, so that is a house of cards done. Silent Assassin, all 3 targets taken out. It's probably the most efficient way, I think, of doing it. I don't think I've ever seen, or even I've done many different sort of ways of doing it. I think that's the best way to do it. Really straightforward. Get to the job done, nice and easy. And yeah, just to recap on nostalgia, really, it's kind of just, I suppose, to savour the positive ones, and you know, if you feel like there's something that you can act upon, you know, when you experience them, then do so. Don't miss that opportunity, whether it be to try something old, new, get in contact with people. You know, it's just, you know, the good ones are good ones for a reason, and then the negative ones, I mean, I think a lot of the time, you know, it's can be an overplayed or like an over dramatized sort of version of events. You're feeling guilty, shameful, hopeless, or whatever because of missed opportunities, the way that you acted in a situation, whatever. Look, it's done and it's dusted. You know, there's nothing that you can do, maybe, about them. I don't know, maybe there could be something that you could do about them, but that could just be a case of getting in contact with someone and talking through that situation. You know, and then if that is the case, you know, you've got to look at it as being as something that's a positive. You know, but other than, if there's nothing that you can do about it, then, you know, you just put it back to one side and you just, you know, you move forward. If you struggle to do that, then, you know, you need to, you know, look at developing some coping mechanisms and some ways of handling those thoughts, and, you know, always talking through those situations, I find, is one of the best ways to do it. So whether that's with a friend, your GP, you know, there's multiple you know, services that you can use to talk to people. I'll put some links in the description, you know, but there's ways of working through them, and, you know, I encourage you to do so. So the next time is A Dance with the Devil, which is a fancy top tier party, and I think there's 2, maybe 3 targets in that one. Can't remember, actually. It's not really a favourite of mine, to be honest. I always found it really a bit of a faff on. But needless to say, we're going to take on the challenge. We'll get the Silent Assassin, and I'll have a think about what I'm going to waffle on about mental health wise. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.